Welcome to OBS Talk Show Presents. This week, we will be talking about a disturbing event that took place last weekend in Birmingham, Alabama. At around 1:30 a.m. on Sunday, August 20th, the latest exhibition driving that took place in the Norwood neighborhood in Birmingham, Alabama. Video surfaced on Facebook showed several cars spinning circles around a Birmingham police vehicle. That video had went viral on social media with great concern from city residents. That incident is a part of a string of incidents that had taken place since last year which prompted mayors of many Alabama cities to plead to the state legislature to pass a law to address exhibition driving with stiffer consequences. Downtown Birmingham had been a hotbed of exhibition that had spread into residential neighborhoods. The incidence of exhibition driving that took place for nearly a year has created an escalation of noise, destruction of property, disruption of normal neighborhood activities, and even several deaths. This issue prompted leaders from major Alabama cities to advocate for tougher driving laws centered around illegal driving activities. That law was passed during the final days of the state legislative session. In March, the mayors of Alabama's 10 largest cities are calling for a ban on exhibition driving, a policy priority for Birmingham city officials amid reports of revved-up engines and tire screeching. Such a ban, if passed by the state legislature, would add criminal penalties against drivers who purposefully create unnecessary engine noise, tire skid and burnouts, or use other dangerous and damaging driving techniques. The ban was included in a list of legislative agenda policy priorities for the mayors of Alabama's largest cities. The group, called the Big Ten Mayors, include Birmingham Mayor Randall Woodfin, Huntsville Mayor Tommy Battle, Mobile Mayor Sandy Stimpson, Montgomery Mayor Stephen Reed, Tuscaloosa Mayor Walt Maddox, Madison Mayor Paul Finley, Hoover Mayor Frank Brocato, Auburn Mayor Ron Anders, Decatur Mayor Tab Bowling, and Dothan Mayor Mark Saliba. The ban on exhibition driving would address a series of horrific incidences that occurred last year in the Birmingham area. At least 9 people were critically injured in Birmingham in December 2022 after crash occurred at John Rogers Drive and Gun Club Road after witnesses said a Dodge Charger and Nissan 370Z were doing donuts when the two vehicles collided, and at least one of them veered into a crowd of bystanders. In August 2022, a woman was killed and 4 others were injured after a vehicle doing a burnout struck another vehicle in a parking lot in the 800 block of 2nd Avenue North. Gunfire also erupted after the two vehicles collided. In July 2022, a 14-year-old boy was killed when he was struck watching exhibition driving in Birmingham. Several other incidents had taken place during the summer of 2023. Promoted mayors of the largest cities in Alabama to go before the state legislature to pass a bill that will cause for strict penalties for exhibition drivers. That bill was passed in May 2023 and went into effect on August 1, 2023. Under the new law, people arrested for exhibition driving can be fined, lose their driver's licenses, forfeit their vehicles, and even be charged with a felony if their activities cause serious injuries or death. Governor Kay Ivey signed the law on May 12, and it will go into effect August 1. Under the bill, drivers could face felony charges and jail time if a driver injures or kills someone participating in exhibition driving. State Representative Juandalyn Gavan sponsored House Bill 107. It allows police to seize a driver's vehicle if they're caught participating in exhibition driving. Legislators in Alabama unanimously passed a new bill banning exhibition driving on Wednesday. It includes those risking safety by doing burnouts, donuts, drifting, and more on public roads or in parking lots. Those convicted face serious penalties and the chance of losing their car altogether. House Bill 29 was proposed by Republican Representative Alan Treadway and sponsored by Democratic Senator Roger Smitherman. It specifically defines terms like burnout, donut, sideshow, speed contest, and exhibition of speed. Such actions are a nationwide issue, but the problem has hit Alabama hard recently. Late last year, a driver in a red Dodge Charger was doing donuts on John Rogers Drive before he was hit by a Nissan 350Z that was driving down that same road. As a result of that crash, 16 people were injured, and that included a 5-year-old. Alabama has seen deaths surrounding these events too. If you don't know what this is where these come down the street and do donuts in the middle of downtown. We've had 4 people get killed because the folks are out there with those cars and those cars get out of control, Senator Roger Smitherman, D. Birmingham, said. Penalties for those convicted of exhibition driving start off fairly light but progress to serious jail time. A first-time offender faces the possibility of imprisonment between 5 to 90 days or a fine of between $25 to $500 or both. That seems to leave latitude for authorities to sentences to appropriately fit the crime. The number of days in jail and the financial penalty increase for each subsequent conviction. Each time a driver is arrested, their vehicle is subject to police impound for no fewer than 48 hours. After 3 or more violations, the car in question can be seized by police as contraband, says Alabama reporter. Should a driver injure someone else or cause property damage, the charge can increase to a Class A misdemeanor with a year in jail and up to a $6,000 fine. Anyone who causes a death while engaged in exhibition driving would be charged with a Class B felony with a maximum sentence of 20 years in state prison and a $30,000 fine. Many people on social media and on a local Birmingham radio show expressed many concerns, including enforcement of the new exhibition law, public safety, and police competency. The host of the show made the call for people to attend the city council meeting to express their concerns. Keith O. Williams, a community activist and podcaster, created several threads on Facebook that sparked discussions and sh hoping people will take action. The issue of exhibition drive is a part of a string of disturbing activities involving young people at various parks and recreation centers in the Birmingham area. It's very evident that police have their hands full and don't have a human capital to address those issues. A notice people are not taken lightly. Here is a message from Keith Williams. This wasn't mentioned on V949 the think tank, but yesterday, the host talked about the reckless driving incident that took place in Norwood this past weekend. He did a call to action for people to pack the city council meeting. This morning, I made an appearance at the city council meeting. Not that many people were present. At the beginning of the meeting, the crowd was significant and kind of diverse. Towards the end, it almost looked like a ghost town. When it came time for speakers, I was the first and only speaker. I did my due diligence to speak on the incident. The mayor looked at me like I was crazy, 8 of 9 councilors didn't say a word, and the atmosphere was about as quiet as a church mouse. Only one councilor had spoken. Some say the comment was dismissive, but I will look at that further. For whatever reason why hardly anyone came out will come out eventually. We complain on social media, we ridicule people on social media, and we sound like a big man or woman on social media. When the call to action was made, only one person showed up. What does that mean? I know some people are going to say some off-the-wall stuff. Let's have it. I'm used to it. Look at the comments of threads I posted last night. That's all you need to know. Reckless driving in a residential neighborhood is just as bad and just as dangerous as gun violence and should be taken just as seriously. One day, it might be your community, and for someone who said it's none of my business has pathetic written all over it. If it happens in your neighborhood, then you want someone to speak up. It doesn't work like that. In fact, that's an example of selfish thinking. Is the village dead? You be the judge. Can't no one say I wasn't there? It's been documented. The truth can't be disputed. One thing is for certain, I'm more than just a talker, I'm a doer, a fighter, an advocate. Get to know me before you judge me. You'll be surprised by what you know. In his 3-minute speech to the Birmingham City Council, Williams blasted Mayor Randall Woodfin and the police department for not actively enforcing the law. Williams pointed out people are questioning the police's ability to do its job, feeling unsafe. He presented a line of questioning, centering around enforcement and public safety, that took the city council off guard. Only City Council President Wardine Alexander addressed Williams' concerns. Williams vowed to launch a personal investigation through a nonprofit advocacy organization, Voters Legal Justice Watch Group, in order for the public to get answers on the exception driving issue and police operations. For complete coverage of the issue, you can Google exception driving in Alabama. Thank you for tuning in to OBS Talk Show Presents. We hope you will tune in next week for another edition. Until then, have a great weekend.